I know the truth. I didn't kill Lily and Jack.
It's been 6 weeks now since you've seen Lily and Jack. I just want to ask, how are you holding up?
It's been a long 6 weeks. I know that everybody basically in the world at this point is always wanting to know like what happened. It's been from sadness to anger at this point. And I know the RCMP and major crimes are working around the clock trying to piece everything together, and I'm grateful for that. But it always leaves the question, 6 weeks has gone by, and we know at this point they're not in the woods. And where are they?
Did you feel in the beginning that they suspected you?
Of course. The stepfather was always a prime suspect right off the beginning.
You felt that from the beginning?
Yeah.
But you don't feel that now?
No, I don't feel that at all. I asked for the lie detector exam, the polygraph exam. I gave them my phone. I told them I, do drug tests because there's a lot of rumors online about a drug party. Mm-hmm. I know the person that said those rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there any kind of party?
No.
Was there any kind of gathering that someone might have thought was a party?
No.
If you thought Daniel Martell was simply a heartbroken partner, think again. New evidence emerging from painstaking forensic analysis and witness testimony may be enough to push Daniel from public sympathizer to official suspect, and could even cause him to finally come clean about what really happened to Lily and Jack. Tonight, we'll reveal every detail. The cell tower pings that contradict his on-camera timeline, the K9 unit's breakthrough in a muddy field, the DNA traces found in his own truck, and the damning digital footprints he tried to erase. Stay with us to the very end. If you demand justice for these children, subscribe now and leave your prayers and thoughts in the comment below. In the weeks following Lily and Jack's disappearance, Daniel appeared everywhere. On live streams and news interviews, leading search parties through forest. But hidden behind his public displays was a trail of data that didn't add up. Early one morning, while he claimed to be coordinating volunteers, Daniel's phone was pinging towers 2 kilometers away. Investigators matched those pings against traffic camera footage, confirming his truck passed an isolated dirt track at dawn, a location that until now had seemed irrelevant. That dirt track, as K9 team soon discovered, held the key. Fresh boot prints sunk deep in wet mud, exactly where K9's nose later indicated the children's scent abruptly ended. The search dogs followed a clear human odor that halted precisely at 2 child-sized imprints and a larger adult tread consistent with Daniel's work boots. Minutes later, a vehicle could have approached, lifted those children, loaded them into back, and sped away, leaving no further trail. This wasn't a random disappearance of children who wandered into the woods. It was a premeditated operation, and it directly contradicted Daniel's repeated public assurances that everyone's searching the forest for signs of the kids. But K9 prints were only the beginning. Forensic teams swabbed Daniel's truck bed liner and found hair and skin cells matching the children's DNA. Pink fibers torn from Lily's favorite boots were lodged in the grooves of the tailgate handle. An imprint of Jack's miniature fleece blanket pattern was pressed into the rubber matting. Every item was cataloged and matched against family possessions missing from the Sullivan home. Investigators' protocol required full chain of custody documentation, ensuring these pieces of evidence could stand up in court. Meanwhile, digital forensics experts recovered deleted lines from Daniel's navigation app. One log, timestamp 6:17 a.m., revealed a route that led him, and only him, away from the search grid toward that same dirt track. When confronted, Daniel claimed his navigation was glitching, but the data could not be erased. Backups on his smartwatch and cloud account preserved every coordinate. More chillingly, heart rate data from his wearable device spiked dramatically at 6:16 a.m., exactly when the physical evidence indicates a struggle may have occurred. As these discoveries coalesced, the RCMP's major crime unit ramped up pressure. Detectives obtained fresh warrants to search a secondary property linked to Daniel's in-laws. There, hidden under floorboards, they found 2 sleeping mats freshly laundered but still bearing traces of the children's hair and microfibers from their pajamas. It was as if someone had gone to great lengths to clean up, and yet had overlooked the microscopic clues that forensic science thrives upon. Although none of these findings directly prove what happened to Lily and Jack, they unambiguously refute Daniel's public timeline. He claimed he discovered their disappearance around 9:40 a.m. Yet his own phone, his vehicle data, and eyewitness reports place him elsewhere for hours before that. Under Canadian law, Lying to police and obstructing an investigation can be grounds for new charges. With this mounting evidence, investigators believe it may finally cause Daniel to admit his knowledge of the children's true whereabouts. Parallel to the scientific breakthroughs, key witness testimony gave voice to the physical clues. Lily Sullivan, the children's grandmother, recounted hearing distant screams before dawn, screams that did not fit a scenario of two kids wandering off. She recalled alerting her dog, stepping outside and glimpsing a silhouette near the driveway. That sighting, combined with her recollection of heavy footsteps on soft gravel, gave detectives a precise location to deploy their dogs and forensic teams. Janie's testimony bridged the gap between sound and scene, turning her account into a roadmap for investigators. Taken together, the K9 findings of fiber and DNA evidence, the digital logs, and Janie's statements created a unified case. The children did not vanish by accident. They were deliberately removed by an adult with intimate knowledge of their routine, and that adult's details matched Daniel Martell's own. Now, after months of frustration and false leads, the RCMP is reportedly preparing to present this evidence to a judge, seeking formal charges. While Daniel continues to proclaim his innocence on social media, the weight of forensic proof suggests he may soon be called in for one final interview, one in which silence will no longer shield him. In the coming hours, we'll walk you through each piece of evidence with exclusive access to crime scene photos, expert interviews, and data visualizations that map Daniel's hidden route. We'll break down how K9 scent tracking works and why that abrupt end of the trail is so rare. 10 years of K9 deployment has never produced such a sudden cutoff without human intervention. We'll examine the lab reports on the fibers found in Daniel's truck, explain how digital timestamp forensics unearthed deleted logs, and analyze heart rate data to understand the physical toll of what he knew at each moment. Tonight's deep dive will also explore the emotional dimensions of the case. We'll hear from consultants on parental loyalty, the psychology of concealment, and why, under extraordinary pressure, someone might choose to protect a partner at the expense of children. We'll speak to legal experts about the threshold for obstruction charges in Canada, the burden of proof required, and the precedents that could guide the RCMP's next steps. You'll learn how investigators move from suspicion to action, how a mosaic of clues transforms into a compelling narrative that can stand in court. Yet even as this evidence points to Daniel, the fate of Lily and Jack remains uncertain. For months, their images have been tagged to bulletin boards and shared online with the hashtag #FindLilyandJack. Now, investigators face a grim question. If Daniel did, in fact, orchestrate their removal, where are they being kept? Are they alive, waiting for someone to break this conspiracy open? Or has the passage of time turned this into a darker tragedy? The RCMP's next move will be critical. They must balance the need to act swiftly against Daniel with the imperative to locate the children before irreversible harm occurs. In the final segment, we'll consider the possible scenarios for Lily and Jack's safety. We'll consult search and rescue veterans on how to pivot from forest grid searches to urban and rural surveillance. We'll explore how family dynamics and the involvement of extended relatives can complicate investigations. And we'll outline how civilian tip lines and digital crowdsourcing can supplement official efforts, urging anyone with even the smallest piece of information to come forward. Every day counts, and every detail could make the difference between hope and heartbreak. This is more than a story of forensic breakthroughs or legal maneuvers. It's about two children whose lives depend on the world seeing every clue, pushing for action and refusing to let this case fade into silence. For months, Daniel Martell controlled the narrative through polished interviews and sympathetic sound bites. But now, the evidence has taken control. It speaks in patterns of footsteps, encoded digital trails, in strands of hair embedded in rubber, and in a grandmother's early morning scream. That evidence has the power not only to shift public opinion, but to compel a confession, or prompt a crucial breakthrough in the search for Lily and Jack. If you believe justice for these children matters, subscribe now, share this video, and leave your prayers in the comments. Every view, every share, every tip could be the catalyst that transforms this avalanche of evidence into a rescue operation. We owe that to Lily and Jack, and every family waiting for answers in the face of unspeakable loss. The truth is no longer buried. It's pointing squarely at Daniel Martell. Now it's up to the RCMP and to all of us to see this through to the end.